Sarvebhyah Namaskaraha. I hope I am audible. We will start with the Mangala Shlokas. Gurureva gatihi gurumeva bhaje gurunaiva sahasmi namo gurave na guroh paramam shishurasmi guroh matirasti gurau mama pahi guru. ब्रवीमि संस्कृतं वाचा ध्यायामि संस्कृतं हृदा कुर्वे सेवां च कायेन वन्दे संस्कृतमातरम् यो नरः संस्कृतव्योम्नि ह्यालयं रमते मुदा संस्कृतिं चैव संस्कारं विन्दते नात्र संशयः. Ram Ram Ram. I welcome you all to the course Sri-Raghava-Yadaviyam, 2 epics in every verse. Starting from today, the sessions will be held every Tuesday at the same time, 7:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And there are approximately 25 classes in this course. So on behalf of Vyoma, I would like to welcome you all warmly to this course. So the teacher of the course is Srimati Visalakshi Sankaran. She is a gold medalist in MA Sanskrit from Madras University. She has a vast experience of 25 plus years in teaching with a deep passion for Sanskrit literature and Sahitya Shastra. She is a widely published author at various national conferences, including the All India Oriental Conference. She is also a very well-known teacher at Vyoma, having taught more than 60 courses, both live and pre-recorded. So on behalf of Vyoma, I would like to welcome Srimati Visalakshi ma'am to the course. Welcome, Bhagini. So I'll just take a few minutes to share some instructions on how to join the class. So there are 3 ways in which you can join the class. So the first is from the browser. I will just share my screen. So once you come to our website, sanskritfromhome.org, if you're not logged in, you can click on the login option here on the top right corner of your screen. And you can enter your credentials, which are the email address and also the password with which you have registered. And once you click on login, it will take you to this window, which is the student dashboard. And here under the continue learning section, you can access the courses that you have enrolled to. And here towards the right side, you can see the section today's classes. Under that, Sri-Raghava-Yadaviyam, and you can click on join now and start the class. And an important point to remember is you can see the join now button only once the teacher has started the class. So in case you have come a little earlier and you're not able to see the join now option, please keep refreshing the page and wait for the teacher. Once the teacher starts, you can definitely see the join now button. So please keep refreshing the page. So this is by the browser. This is how we join the class. The other way to join is from the email link. So if you have kept your notifications on in your email, you will receive reminders 1 hour before the class and also when the teacher has started the class. So there will be 2 reminders. So there will be a link in that email, and when you click on the link, again you enter the login credentials and you can join the webinar. And the third is through our mobile app, which is the easiest way to join the class. You just need to open the app and you can join the class from the link in the home tab. So these are the 3 ways in which you can join. And as I said, you need to keep refreshing the page to see the join now button. So as I mentioned about the mobile app, and those who are not familiar or haven't used it, you can download the app both on Play Store and Android Store for both Android and iOS devices. So it is on-the-go mobile app. You can take classes from anywhere on your phone, anytime. You can access the content. You can also listen to the recordings. You can take up assessments. You'll get in-app announcements and notifications. So you can do everything that you can do on your browser right on your mobile phone. And it is also 100% ad-free. And as I said just now, it is also very convenient to join the class. So here's a QR code, and I will also be sharing the links to download the app. Some frequently asked questions. Will I get access to recordings and slides? Yes, you will get access. The class recordings will be uploaded to the portal within 48 hours after the class. The PDF versions will also be uploaded along with the audio. I'll just show you where you can access them on our dashboard. So the same window, the student dashboard, once you log in, under continue learning, you can see the course. So you just click on the course. And here you will find all the materials. So under the content section, you will find the materials will be uploaded within 48 hours after the class. And you can also find the materials on the app. So, I just showed you how to access these materials. And is there a WhatsApp group for the course? Yes, so those who are not yet aware, there is a WhatsApp group. The group is purely meant to have discussions regarding the course, and no other discussion will be allowed. You're not allowed to forward, and unrelated posts will also be deleted. So I will also be sharing the link in the chat. You can also scan the QR code. Some webinar guidelines. So you can join from your PC, Android or iOS devices. All participants will be muted by default to avoid disturbance. So in case you have any questions, you can type them in the Q&A box that will be available on the screen. You can also raise your hand once the teacher has completed the class. She can unmute you and you can ask your questions. And headphones are recommended for better audio experience. In case you have any doubts or questions, you can email us at the sanskritfromhome@vyomalabs.in email, or you can call our support number as well, which is on the screen. And please note that if you're joined through the browser, that no other tabs are running, or if you're joined through a phone, no other app is running. This will affect the audio quality and there will be lags. So please ensure no other tabs are running. So having said that, I would like to hand over to Visalakshi ma'am to take this forward. Thank you.
So before we start, I would like to just give some ground rules of my own, just to ensure that the class runs smoothly. So I will teach for about 45 minutes, and then the last 15 minutes will be allotted for any questions. So if you have any questions, please make a note of it and reserve it for the end of the class. So it is easier and it doesn't obstruct the flow of understanding, and my flow also. Sometimes I get distracted. So it'll be easier if we keep the questions to the end. It's easier for others also. So let's try to follow those rules a little bit. And any questions, you can put it in the chat box or in the Q&A section, as he said. So we can, when I get time, I will go to that. And if I can answer within my class time, I will do it also. Okay. And I have to thank Vyoma for this. So they give me a flexibility that I think no other institution would give. This flexibility is there only for both the teachers and the students, of course, and the volunteers and everybody here are very, very, what to say, they're very nice, and they accommodate a lot of things. So Thank you, Vyoma, and thank you, Venkat and Soumya, for giving me this opportunity. So let's start with the course now. I have two Mangala shlokas. We will go with these. We will start the class with these two Mangala shlokas. Because the text is about Raghava and Yadava, the two shlokas are about Rama and Krishna here. Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedhase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. The topics that we are going to look at, first I would like to give an introduction of what we have to do here in this text as such, and a background, because this is a text that is not studied much. It is not prescribed as part of any syllabus or anything, but this is a text that is a marker in the history of Sanskrit literature. So we need to, it'll be good to understand about the text and read it at least once in our lifetime. Somebody has written it, let's study it once. So we will read about, these are the topics that I will go over as part of the introduction. So Kavihi Venkatadhwari, we'll know about him a little bit, and then the text Raghava-Yadaviyam. To understand what is the place of this kavyam, Raghava-Yadaviyam, we need to know what a kavyam is and what the components of the kavyam are, for us to understand where this kavyam features. Okay, so Shabdhartha kavyam or Ishtartha, I will explain these later also as we go to it. And what is the basic of such a kavyam? What is this kavyam and what is the basic building blocks for these kavyam, which is Shabdalankaras. Okay. The next we will go with Chitralankaras, which is a more complicated version of the Shabdalankaras. Then you come to the Dushkaram, which is the type of kavyam Raghava-Yadaviyam is. It is called a Dushkaram or a Chitra kavyam. Sometimes it is named as Chitra kavyam. It is also called as Dushkaram kavyam by himself, by the Kavi himself. He has mentioned it as Dushkaram. Or it is also known as an Anuloma Pratiloma, Viloma Pratiloma kavyam, or Anuloma Pratiloma kavyam, Anuloma Viloma kavyam, or a Pratiloma kavyam. These are different names given to this particular kavyam. So we go from the building blocks of Shabdalankara, then Chitralankara, then look at Dushkaram kavyam, then in particular we will look at this Viloma kavyam. Okay. Now, some details about Venkatadhwari. If you have read his Lakshmi Sahasram or Vishwagunadarcha Champu, there is a detailed introduction that would have been given by many editors and authors. Just to go over some of the aspects of the Kavi, his time frame is 16th to 17th century. I'll be mentioning this many times because this is a marker. As I said, this is a marker for us to understand why this kavyam came about and why he had to spend so much of creativity to write this kavyam. He was born in a gramam, in a village called Arasanipalai, which is very near to, I think, Kanchipuram this side. So his Vasasthalam was, where he stayed was Kanchipuram. He was born in this Arasanipalai, but there is a Narasimha temple also there. It's a very small, beautiful village. And but he stayed in a town. As always, with anybody who is born in a village, they would like to go and stay in the town to get their work published or for people to know about it. So it's more attractive to stay in the Pattanam, right? So in the same manner, he also probably moved his residence to Kanchipuram. And the plenitude of scholars that were available in that area, Vedanta Deshika was from that area, Apay Dikshitar was in that area, and we also know that he is Samakal with Nilakanta Dikshita, who is a descendant of Apay Dikshita also. When you look at the Vamsham, he is he himself mentions in his kavyam both Vishwagunadarsha Champu and this Raghava-Yadaviyam, and in some other Lakshmi Sahasram also, where he says that he belongs to the Atreya Gotra. His grandfather was Srinivasa Dikshita, his father is Raghunatha Dikshita, and Mata is Sitamba. There are two shlokas that give this lineage. The first one is Prakhyataha Pranatarthi Hrid Guru Riti Shri Bhashya Kartuhu Munehe Yo Mahanasikaha Tadukti Rasikaha Shrimansa Yatra Bhavat Vamshe Tatrahi Vadi Hamsa Jaladacharya Bhushite Yajva Bhut Raghunatha Dikshita Kavihi Shri Srinivasa Ishtinaha. First, he talks about his father. Shri Srinivasa Ishtinaha Vamshe, Putraha Abhut. So first is there was a great sage, that is he was a Muni who was also the guru of our Ramanujacharya, Vedanta Deshika, I think, yes. So he was the uncle of Vedanta Deshika, and Muni, the guru of Ramanuja, was another person. So he was born in such a Vamsha. So Prakhyataha Shri Bhashya Kartuhu Munehe Hrid Guruhu iti. One who was known as the guru of Shri Bhashya Karta, which is Ramanujacharya. And then Tasmin Vamshe Eva Vadi Hamsa Jaladacharya Bhushite Vamshe. In the Vamsha which was decorated by people like Vadi Hamsa Jalada, who is an Acharya. Vadi Hamsa Jalada was known to be the guru of Vedanta Deshika. Some call him also as the Matula or uncle of Vedanta Deshika. His own uncle was his guru in the beginning. His name was Vadi Hamsa Jalada. Some people also give the term of Vadi Hamsa Ambuvaha. Now, this is very common. You will find this type of changing the name many times. So, Vadi Hamsa Jaladacharya iti ityadibihi bhushite vamshe, in that vamsha. So, he has a great lineage here, Venkatadhwari. Yajva Abhut Shri Raghunatha Dikshitaha. Shri Srinivasa Ishtinaha Abhut. Raghunatha Dikshita was born to Srinivasa Dikshita. So Srinivasa Dikshita here is the grandfather and Raghunatha Dikshita is the father here. Yajva Abhut. So they were all yaga kartaraha, and they used to perform the yagas also. We know this parallelly. In those days, yagas were being performed by many people. So that is why they were called Adhvari. Venkatadhvari, Adhvara ityukte tatra yagaha. So one who performs a yaga is an Adhvari. So that is a very common epithet you will find in many people. The same way you will have Vajapeyi iti. Apaya Dikshita was also known to be a performer of the Vajapeyi yaga. So probably in the 15th, 16th, 17th century, it was still very prevalent among Orthodox people to still perform, and those who were interested in performing the yagas, they were performing those for the sake of the good of the people, right? Now, Tatsunuhu Kila. Now, Venkatadhwari himself talks about his work and how he has written a Vyakhyanam for this also. Now, this is about the book Raghava-Yadaviyam. Tatsunuhu Kila Venkatadhwari Kavihi Tasya Anumatya Guroho Srimad-Yadava Raghaviya Charitam Shlokai Shubhai Strimshata Tairakhyati Nigadyate Aksharaganaihi Yatra Anulomya Uditaihi Ramasya Pratilomataha tu Patitaihi Krishnasya Yatkriditam. This is the shloka that Venkatadhwari himself gives about his work Raghava-Yadaviyam. Tatsunuhu here you take it from this shloka. Raghunatha Dikshita Kavehe Sunuhu Venkatadhwari Kavihi. This Kavi Venkatadhwari Tasya Anumatya, Tasya Guroho Anumatya. With the permission of his guru. Guru can mean two things. One is an elder, the other is a teacher. So both are gurus. Okay. So here probably his own father is a guru. For everybody, it is mother and father are the Prathama Guru. Right? So the first, that's why we say Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva, Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabila. Adina Guru Mata, Devaha, and you go by first your parents are the guru, and then who teaches you is a guru. Janitacha, Upanetacha, ityadikam tu vartate. So there are 7 types of Panchapitaraha and Panchamataraha. In that you have the progenitor also as the first guru for us. In that sense here, Raghunatha Dikshita was the first guru for Venkatadhwari. Tasya anumatehe, with his permission, he has written the Charitam, the story of Yadava and Raghava. So if you note, Venkatadhwari in this shloka, he mentions the the work name as Yadava Raghaviya Charitam. This could also Srimad Raghava-Yadaviya Charitam Nityapi Vaktam Shakyate. The meter does not change at all, but he has chosen to give the name as Yadava Raghaviyam. So that's why the work can either be referred to in places like history of Sanskrit literature or anywhere. It can be referred to as Raghava-Yadaviyam or Yadava-Raghaviyam. Both names are found in the history here. So Shlokaihi, Shubhaihi, Trimshata, 30. There are totally 30 shlokas. He has described the Charitam, the story of Raghava and Yadava. Taihi akhyati, Taihi Shubhaihi Trimshata Shlokaihi Raghava Yadaviya Charitam akhyati, he describes the Charitam of both of them. Akshara Ganaihi Yatra Anulomya Uditaihi Ramasya Pratilomataha Krishnasya Yat Kriditam. Krishnasya yat kriditam, the Leela, Krishna Leela is described pratilomataha. Pratiloma is reverse. Anulomya uditaihi is in the straightforward manner. If you read the shloka in the straightforward manner, as is given, then it is describing the story of Rama. Okay. So, again, this Kavi, what he has written, he has also written his own Vyakhya for this work. That we will also look at some of the aspects from that Vyakhya. We will not be reading the entire Vyakhyanam, but we will be looking at, because without a Swagvyakhya, it is very difficult to understand this text. No amount of Vyakarana Shastram or anything will give us the import that the Kavi intends to give us. So this Kavi Venkatadhwari, he has many titles. Astoka Adhwari, Adhvarinaha. It is given in plural to show Bahumanam, respect to the Kavi here. Kavi Vidwan Manayaha, Kavi Vidwan Mani, Shlesha Yamaka Chakravarti. He is an uncrowned king, or he is a king of Shlesha and Yamaka. Now, the Shlesha and Yamaka is our building blocks for this Kavyam. Because he was a Chakravarti in this, we understand how the Kavyam is going to be, right? So he has earned that title probably because of this Kavyam here. Other people who were all very famous in his Vamsha are Atreya Ramanujacharya. I told you how he is the guru of Vedanta Deshika. He is also known as Vedanta Deshikasya Matulaha iti. Kidambi Achan Pranatarthi Haraha. This is Ramanujacharya's guru. Kidambi Appular, I think, is one of the guru of Venkatadhwari also, and one of the people who were born later is also this Appu, Appaya. These are all names that you will find both in Shaiva Vamsha and Vaishnava Vamsha. In that area, it was very common in Tamil Nadu to keep such names in those days. He followed Vedanta Deshika's matam, and he was a Vaishnava Sampradaya Anuyayi, so he was a follower of the Vaishnava Sampradaya. He has written many books based on that also. And as I told you, he's in the same, he was born or he lived during the same period as Nilakanta Dikshita. See, Nilakanta Dikshita, Appaya Dikshita, all of them had their roots near Kanchipuram. All of these people had their roots near Kanchipuram. So Nilakanta Dikshita, who is the grand nephew of Appaya Dikshita, why I keep mentioning Appaya Dikshita is, see, they have a connection here. Both Vedanta Deshika, Venkatadhwari, Appaya Dikshita and Nilakanta Dikshita have a connection of being born in the same time period mutually and living sort of closely in the same area. While Venkatadhwari stayed in Kanchipuram, Nilakanta Dikshita decided to move towards the south, and he became the minister in the Madurai kingdom, and he settled in Palamadai later. but Venkatadhwari decided to stay in Kanchipuram itself. Probably they both learnt under the same person, we don't know. The other connection between the two is, of course, between Vedanta Deshika and Appaya Dikshita. Vedanta Deshika has written Yadavabhyudayam, for which Appaya Dikshita has written a commentary. So this is yet another connection. So Nilakanta Dikshita had his introduction into Vaishnava Sampradaya through Appaya Dikshita's commentary on Yadavabhyudayam also. So there was a lot of mutual exchange of ideas, exchange of such works between them constantly. Right? There was an honesty towards the learning that they had. He has now the virachitaha grantaha tu atra bahavaha vartante. We don't get most of it. He is supposed to have written 108. This number is also very similar because Appaya Dikshita has also written 108 works. Vedanta Deshika has written so many works, 100 plus works. But what we have today of Venkatadhwari's works are close to 20 to 30 works are available. Around 20 to 30 works. In manuscripts, we still don't have all of them published. Probably 10 or so of his works are published here. He has done many works in Shastram. In Vyakaranam, he has done 2 works, which is Mahabhashya Spurti and Young Look Prakashika. Some can also be in the form of Krodapatram, that is, it is in the form of small research papers. Today we have a journal as an entryway to publish papers. Let's say you write a paper for 10-20 pages. You get an avenue to publish it in a journal. In those days, that was not the case. They just wrote it and kept it as papers with them, or read it in a Sabha, and then that paper will be with them. Interested people will come and make a note of it, make a copy of it in their house, sit, copy it and go. That's how the manuscript thing worked in those days. So it's something like Yangluk Prakashika could have been a very small work on the Pratyaya and the different applications of that Pratyaya. He has written a work in Nyayam also, Manisara Khandanam, Purvamimamsa, Vidhitraya Paritranam, Mimamsa Makarandaha, and Nyaya Padmam. Nyaya Padmam could have been a work in Nyaya also, or it is popularly spoken of as a work in Purvamimamsa. These works, most of it are in manuscript form, some of it have been published. A Dharma Shastra work has also been composed by him, which is Yati Prativandana Khandana. Now we move on to Kavyam, which is a more popular work of his. He has written 2 Padyam works. Padyams are poetries. Subhashita Kaustubham and Raghava-Yadaviyam. The Stotram is Lakshmi Sahasram, is his most popular work. For Sahitya Shastrakara, Vishwagunadarsha Champu is the most popular one. But Lakshmi Sahasram is very popular because it follows the style of Vedanta Deshika. Vedanta Deshika has written Paduka Sahasram, that he took it up as a challenge and wrote it within one night. So the Paduka Sahasram has 1000 shlokas written only about Ranganatha Paduka. Venkatadhwari was so impressed, and he's like a Manasika Guru. Vedanta Deshika was his Manasika Guru. So he's like, he wanted to write a work which was similar to Paduka Sahasram, and so he wrote Lakshmi Sahasram. He has also written Srinivasa Sahasram, Shravananandaha, and Acharya Panchashat. It is in praise of Vedanta Deshika. That shows how he was completely, he wanted to show his respect towards Vedanta Deshika, so he wrote 50 shlokas on Deshika himself. Then when you go to Champu, he has only written Champu, he has not written Gadya works. That is why I have combined those 2. Now Champu has Gadyam also. That's why you need the expertise of both Gadya writing and Padya writing in order to write Champu, because it is a Gadya Padya Mayi Champuhu. It is a mixture of both prose and poetry. He has written Vishwagunadarsha Champu. This is a very interesting work. If you see, in those days, after Kalidasa wrote Megha Sandesham. which gives the terrain of Bharata Desha until the Himot Parvatam. So that he, by way of giving a message to the cloud, and the cloud going, he was explaining to the cloud. That is, there is an yaksha who gives a message to the cloud to take it to his wife. He is separated from his wife, and by way of telling him the margam to adopt, to go to north, he describes the different deshas that are there on the way to Himavat Parvatam and Alakapuri, where his wife was present. So that was a geographical description of Bharatavarsha. The next one is Vishwagunadarsha Champu, which is even more dealt in depth, not only about the different places, but kshetras, philosophies that were prevalent during the time. So it is like a binocular to look into that time period using two people. He uses two the Vidyadharas. One is Krishanu and the other is Vishwavasu. So these two, the Vishwavasu is a very positive person. Krishanu is a very negative person. So you know how people are always, they look at things with a positive perspective, and some people are always pessimistic. So this optimistic and pessimistic view of how people look at things with black and white, he portrays it beautifully. Each topic he will take, one will speak for, the other will speak against. So we know that there is always a plus and minus in everybody. Like, for example, Karna, if you take the characters of Mahabharata also, there is a plus and a minus in every character there, right? So this Vishwaguna Adarsha Champu is like a mirror to the entire world. Vishwaguna Adarsha Champu. He has written Varadabhyudaya Champu, which is also known as Hastigiri Champu. Atti Varadarangrolya. Kanchipurathla, there is Atti Varada. This is a Champu which describes the Mahatmyam of Varadaraja. Uttara Champu, Srinivasa Vilasa Champu is actually about a king Srinivasa. It could also be dedicated to the king, but at the same time it could describe the Srinivasa also. It is available, but I have not had an opportunity to look at what the subject matter is. He has written Rupakam. Rupakam here is Natakam. Not only Natakam, there are other types of dramas also. Natakam is one type of Rupakam. Pradyumna Anandam is a Rupaka drama. 3 Bhanas he has written. Bhana is a type of drama. Those 3 are Shringara Deepika, Mukunda Vilasaha, and Yathoktakari Bhanaha. This is there are specific details about, technical details about what is a bana and all. When we read a natakam or a bana, we will read the specific details of what they are. Okay. Now, the work as such that we are going to look at, there are totally 30 shlokas in this. It is called, as I said, it is called Sri-Raghava-Yadaviyam or Yadava-Raghaviyam. There are 30 shlokas. But we will read 60 shlokas because we will read the Anuloma Padyam and the Pratiloma Padyam. We will have to do twice for each shloka. So we have totally 60 shlokas here. The source is Ramayana and Harivamsha. The entire story of Ramayana in a nutshell has been given in these 30 shlokas. It's very difficult to condense a work of 24,000 shlokas. Imagine. There Champu Ramayanam is there, which has a lot more shlokas. You have Ramodantam, which is a simple version in Anushtup shlokas. There are about 210 shlokas in that, which is also a condensed version in the same format as Valmiki has given. He has also separated it as Balakandam, Ayodhya Kanda, Aranya Kanda, etc. But Raghava-Yadaviyam does not split the entire thing into kandas. He deals with the shloka, he deals with the storyline of Ramayana, and deals with most of the major episodes in Ramayana. The reverse, that is Krishna Charitam, in many introduction of this book, in many printed versions, you will find that this follows the story of Bhagavatam. That is not true, because, or it deviates from Bhagavatam iti. See, in Bhagavatam, there is only one shloka. In the most popular printed versions of Bhagavatam, there is only one shloka about Parijata Apaharanam. in this, we only talk about the Krishna Leela, which is associated with Parijata Apaharanam, that is the bringing of the Parijata tree from Swarga and presenting it to Satyabhama. The incidents that lead to it and how the Parijata tree comes back. If there are people who have read Bhagavatam or listened to lectures, you will know that as soon as Krishna goes back to Vaikuntha, Parijata tree also goes back to Swarga. It's a very big episode that is mentioned both in Vishnu Puranam and Bhagavata Puranam. So the Parijata Apaharanam is only mentioned as one shloka. There is a Vijayadhvari iti, there is a commentator for Bhagavatam who has given extra some 20 to 30 shlokas. He probably takes it from Vishnu Puranam or Harivamsha Purana. Vishnu Purana gives about 15 to 20 shlokas, but Harivamsha Purana deals with this in a detailed fashion. Harivamsha is actually the Khilabhagam of Mahabharata. This is Khilabhagam, it is a part of, it is like an appendix for Mahabharata, this Harivamsha Purana. It has its own separate sections. That is why the sections are all divided into Parva, similar to Mahabharatam. You have Shanti Parva, Adi Parva, Bhishma Parva, Drona Parva, etc. In the same manner, here also in Harivamsha Purana, the first one is Vishnu Parva, and then you have Bhavishya Parva. It is divided into different Parvas. In the Vishnu Parva, from chapter 65 to 76, close to 10-11 chapters, this Parijata Apaharanam is described in detail, and this is our source for Venkatadhvari to compose the reverse Krishna Charita. Okay, the Vastu here, there are two, as I told you, Ramacharitam or Ramayanam. It is based on Ramayana. The entire Ramacharitam is given in a nutshell. And the story of Parijata Haranam or Parijata Apaharanam from the Swarga. What are the events that led to it and how he brought it? This is described in the reverse manner. This is the Vastu. So any Kavyam should have a Vastu, Upajivyam, Vastu, Katha and Neta, Rasaha. These are all the components of a Kavyam we should know. What is the source for the Kavyam? Like if you take Kumara Sambhava, written by Kalidasa, the source is a Purana source, which is Shiva Puranam. Many shlokas are, in fact, the ideas that he has taken directly from Shiva Purana and given it in his Kumara Sambhava. If you compare the sections, even some upamas are taken from Shiva Purana itself. So there is a close association with Shiva Purana. So you need to know the Katha source for these things. If you take Kadambari, for example, it is an imaginary story. There is a small section in Brihat Katha, but the entire description of Kadambari written by Banabhatta is his own imagination, his own creativity there. So the Katha source, Now Vastu or the Katha of the Kavyam, the source is Upajivyam, Vastu na plot nartham. Plot of the Kavyam. So Ramacharitam and Parijata Apaharanam. The Neta, as we know from the title itself, is Raghavaha. All those who were born after Raghu are all Raghava. In Ramayana, you will find Lakshmana being mentioned as Raghava, Dasharatha being mentioned as Raghava. So anybody who was born after Raghu Maharaja can be called as Raghava. But here, specifically, we are only giving the Charitam of Rama, who was a Raghava. Raghuamshe Jataha iti. Yadava, again, Yadavaha too, there can be so many people. Vasudeva is a Yadava. Balrama is a Yadava. Satyaki is a Yadava. So there can be so many Yadavas here. But we are only talking about Krishna, who was the Yadava. And he has given a Vyakhyanam himself. Some of the people who have, critiqued this work, who has written an introduction to this work, they have said without his own Vyakhya, it is very difficult to decode this work because we don't know where to split, what to do with the work. It will be like some jumbled up words, made up words, and words which we have not even come across in our regular Sanskritam or regular kavyams even. It is new to me. I have looked at some, at least, some 10 kavyas, let's say, on a minimum basis, but still there are words which I have not come across at all. So that is the greatness of this kavyam, where he has depended solely on kosha and his vyakarana balam to write this kavyam. So his own vyakhya is absolute necessary for such a kavyam. It's not new. It is something of an age-old practice. Also, people have written their own vyakhyanas for works. And some people, not because it is difficult to understand, but there are people who have, like Apay Dikshita, he has written his own vyakhyanam for a stotra of just 18 verses. He's written a stotram called Durga Chandrakala Stuti, which has only 18 verses, but he has given a vyakhyanam for him for that. There is a Ratnatraya Pariksha Ityasti. For that also he has given his own vyakhya. Why does he give? He says, I don't want people to misinterpret my own shlokas. I don't want people to interpret it in different ways and say, oh, the author could mean this. He could have meant this. Ityadikam tu tatra. I don't want swavyakhya of other people into this. I want people to understand the purpose with which I have written this kavya. So they wanted to ensure that the correct message reaches people. That is why they embellish it with their own vyakhyana. So swavyakhya eva sahitam idam kavyam vartate. He has given in the anuvarnita, in his vyakhyanam, there are 3 shlokas that he starts off with. Even if it is a vyakhyana, he does a mangala shlokam and guru vandana, etc., and gives the purpose of this work. Anuvarnita Ramakrishna Vrittaihi Anuloma Pratiloma Vachanabhyam Kritim Ullasitam Vidhaya Padyaihi Vivrunoti Swayameva Venkataryaha. Venkataryaha Swayameva Vivrunoti. He himself explains his own work, having made that work. Kritim Vidhaya, Padyaihi Kritim Vidhaya, Kidrishaihi Padyaihi, Anuvarnita Ramakrishna Vrittaihi Padyaihi, with Anuloma Pratiloma Vachanabhyam. Anuloma, straightforward, Pratiloma, reverse, Vachanam is reading. By reading it in the direct and reverse manner, the vrittam, the charitam of Rama and Krishna have been anuvarnitam. It has been described tadrisha mayehi padyaihi, tadrisha anuvarnitaihi padyaihi, varnanatmakaihi padyaihi, kritim ullasitam kritim ullasita alankrita esha kritihi. This work has been beautified, or it shines with verses that describe the story of Rama and Krishna by reading straightforward and back. And kritva vidhaya swayameva vivrunoti venkataryaha. Now he describes it in his own words. Okay. Now the next we have to look at what entails a kavyam, or the contents of a kavyam. So this, I would like to take this up in the next class. We will do it as a part of introduction. So now is the opportunity. Those who want to ask any questions, any doubts, you can raise your hand and and unmute yourself. Namaste. Satyamurthy Mahodaya. You can unmute yourself. Yes,
Namaskaraha. My name is Arsani Palai Satyamurthy. I'm the direct descendant of Swami Venkatadwari, actually. My grandfather is the 7th generation, from Venkatadwari. Venkatadwari nam vishaye kinchit vaktam ichchami Angla bhashayam. Venkatadwari actually is the great grandson of Appullar, who is actually the maternal uncle for Vedanta Desika. Yeah, Vedanta Desika. Vedanta Desika's uncle is Appullar, whose great grandson is the Venkatadwari. And Appullar is the great son of Kidambiya Chan, who is the caretaker as well as the Acharya for Ramanuja.
Ramanuja. Okay, makes
Ramanuja.
sense.
So,
Right.
so
Thank
I
you.
have the Vamsavali all the way from Kidambiya Chan up until my father, actually.
Oh, very
So
nice.
I do have
Nice,
a
nice.
printed book of Vamsavali there.
Oh,
And
very nice.
Venkadadwari lived in Arsanipalai for most part. Of course, right? He went to Kanchipuram and came back. And he did many yagas in Arsanipalai. And we still have a yaga stambam, the the place where he did the yagas, right? The yaga stambam is still there.
Oh, very nice.
Still there.
Superb.
And there is a beautiful temple, right? Lakshmi Narayana Swami temple. That is what the one Venkadadwari worshipped, and our ancestors all worshipped. That temple is also still there. And if anybody has a opportunity to go and visit, please do. It's a beautiful temple. It's a place that everybody needs to visit, basically.
Oh, very nice. Thank you.
And I am so honored to learn this Raghava-Yadaviyam. It's been my dream for a long time, even though the book has all the Padachedam and other things. I have great respect and admiration for Vyoma for what they are doing. And in addition, right, I'm very honored and humbled to learn this wonderful jewel from you all, Bhagini, and I know a lot about you from Soumya Bhagini and other folks, right, that I've been learning from in Vyoma lab.
Oh,
And very Bhagavad Dhanyavadaha, okay, to all of you. And
sure.
Thank you so much.
Sure. Shobna, Maudya? Yeah.
The last sloka you said in Anvaya form, could you please repeat it again?
Idva. Okay. Anuloma pratiloma vachanabhyam anuvarnita Ramakrishna vrittaihi padyaihi ullasitam kritim vidhaya swayameva vidhaya venkataryaha swayameva vivrunoti. Okay.
கொஞ்சம் ஒரு தடவை ஸ்லோவா சொல்லுங்களேன். I'm not able to write it.
The 1 2 3 4 போட்டிருக்கேன், நீங்க அப்படியே பார்த்து எழுதிடலாம்.
Okay, thank you.
Geeta Maudya? Yeah.
Hariyo Bhagini. Shruyate va?
Yeah, Shruyate. Vadantu.
Bhagini, it was nice. I've listened to your recorded versions of so many other these things earlier, and I always was awestruck. And today, within this short period of 40 minutes, 45 minutes, you've given whole lot of information. I don't know how you managed to do it. That is one thing that I'm left tongue-tied. And the question that I wanted to ask you is, like Venkatadri Kavi has written Vyakyanam about his own works so that people understand his works properly and they don't misquote or misunderstand, sort of. Is there are there also Kavis who have done Vyakyanam for their own works, or is he the only one?
Adதான் சொன்னேன். It's Appaya Dikshita who has done that, definitely. And there are, I'm sure there are other things. I have not researched into that. பார்த்தா தெரியும். There are people who have written Swavyakya.
நமக்கு தெரிஞ்ச மட்டுக்கும் to the extent not நம்மளுக்கு to the extent
எனக்கு தெரிஞ்ச வரைக்கும் அப்பய தீக்ஷிதர் கட்டாயம் பண்ணிருக்கார். அது இருக்கு. That is definitely there. I have taught Durga Chandra Kalastuti, and it is there on Vyoma also, along with his Vyakyanam. I have done that. So எனக்கு அது மாத்திரம் I can say with confidence. மத்தத பத்தி எனக்கு சட்டன off the top of my head I don't know.
Okay. One more question. Sorry. If he had he not written Vyakyanam about his own works, was there a possibility of not understanding it the way from his point of angle?
அப்படி அவசியம் இல்ல, because it's a fairly simple work that way. See, there have been works like Subandhu's Vasavadattam, for example. It is a Gadya Kavyam, where there is no Vyakhyanam. He had not written, Subandhu had not written a Vyakhyanam. There are paragraphs where you have to involve the same way of breaking up of words and trying to understand the meaning of it. There have been Vyakyatas who are intelligent enough and skilled enough to work through or decode the work. And we have Vyakhyanas which have been written by later people also. Definitely, there will அதாவது இவர் சொல்லுவார், பௌபூதி வந்து சொல்லுவார், ஏனாம கேச்சி திகனப் பிரதயன் தியவஜ்ஞாம்னு ஒரு ஸ்லோகம் ஒண்ணு உண்டு. அதாவது those who காலோஹ்யம் நிரவதிஹி விபுலா ச பிருத்திவி. This time is niravadhi, it is endless, and vipula cha prithvi, the earth is huge. You don't know in the corner la in the kodi la yaar vandu who would have done, who will be interested in doing it, and who can be in the same wavelength. And who knows, if you believe in punarjanma, he himself might take another janma and do a vyakyanam for his own work. Right. Dhanyawad. Thanks so much. And I'm really looking forward to going through this journey, enjoying it. Thank you. Namaste. Madhumati. Yeah.
Namaskaram. Jai Shri Ram. I am not very fluent, as I can see that many of the people, those who are here, they are very fluent in Sanskrit. I have enrolled myself for this out of curiosity to know and understand this poetic work, Sri-Raghava-Yadaviyam. My worry is a basic one. I do read Bhagavatam and Ramayanam. I don't have any difficulty in reading and reciting Sanskritam. I read it fluently. However, I haven't done any course in Sanskritam, which means it's a challenge for me to understand if there are words spoken in Sanskrit. For that matter, even if it is Tamil or some other language. Is there any prerequisite to understand the words, or we will be taught this kavyam in English along with meaning of the words, which can be presumed that we know? So number one, I will be teaching only in English, and there may be Sanskritam on and off, but my tendency and my brain always works in translation. So even if I teach and even if I say in Sanskritam, now that you have told me, that will be in the corner of my brain, and I will say in English. Don't worry. So it will be, I'll explain in English. You don't need to worry about the language part. The other thing is, see, this is a very involved and complex work, in the sense that it involves sandhi, samasa, slesha, all of those things. I will go through a lot of those things. I will give a good solid background of what it entails and all that. Beyond that, think of it as you are viewing a movie, like, about a math genius. Do you have to know about maths? You don't need to. Right? You understand the genius of the Kavi. You are only viewing it in that manner through me. That's all. It's like viewing a biography movie. Think of it in that manner. Definitely.
Don't be too bogged down by the Sanskritam.
Otherwise, my purpose of joining this course, I don't think that otherwise I can do any justice to this.
Don't worry too much about it.
Please be honest in case if you want me to continue this, because I would love it if it is in the way that you are depicting and explaining it.
This is how it will be. Of course, I will go into word by word explanation, and since you are familiar with Devanagari, you will understand. Don't worry.
Definitely. Thank you.
No. Sita Mahalakshmi Mode. Namaste. You can unmute yourself. Namaste.
Madam, Hindi or English? Madam, I am waiting for this Raghava-Yadaviyam since 5 years. Once in Google, I have read it, Raghava-Yadaviyam, first Anuloma and Viloma. I love it, and what I explain, I cannot explain, ma'am. And now you are the way of explaining. My body goosebumps are coming, and I am not in a position to talk properly also. It's very, 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 I love it very, very much. Thank you for, it's a very emotion also, our क्या है कि अपना संस्कृति is a very ocean. We have to मतलब क्या in divine we have to डुबकी लगाना है, मतलब उसमें drowning, not coming outside. It is a full meals of
जो डूबे सो पार.
Full meals of every interested and favorable item which we have to eat. We don't want which first we have to take into our mouth. I
No
can't
worry, don't
explain.
worry. वो कहते हैं ना, जो डूबे सो पार. So whoever drowns will get it. Don't worry.
Thank you so much. I am asking for who can tell this meaning and what is the end. I am waiting for 5 years, 5 whole years, 5.5 years, I think.
Okay.
And at last, मेरी तमन्ना पूरी होने के लिए आ गई है.
भाई वाह. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Sure.
Thank you, ma'am.
Kalpaga, Mahodaya, you want to unmute? Namaste. Yeah.
Namaste, Bhagini. Actually, for long, like all others, how they said, I wanted to hear this meaning, word by word meaning, because I'm interested in Sanskrit and I'm going through Bhagavad Gita and all the other verses also.
Sure.
Any book, specific book to be bought or any PDF or anything, Bhagini?
So I think the resources on the website has the text and all that. There is a PDF and there is an external link also. Lifco publishers have it, and I think the link has been given in the WhatsApp group. Once you join the group and you ask questions, people will give you the number for Lifco. They will also send it to you. No worries.
Okay.
About
thank
that.
You so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. So
okay.
Thank you so much.
Rajiv Mahodaya? Yeah.
Namaskaram, madam.
Namaskaram.
Actually, first thing is, I've heard about you, that your lectures used to be wonderful from one of my wife's aunts who studied here. So first time I'm getting the opportunity. So excited about it. Number two, I'm actually trying to revive my Sanskrit knowledge after so many years. I studied during my college days, so many years past, but still that enthusiasm and interest is still below, underneath. So that's why I come back. So whatever you have mentioned, you are a little fast. Probably I'm not used to. But the question is very interesting.
Sorry.
Thanks to you.
எனக்கு ஸ்பீடு கொஞ்சம் கஷ்டம் தான், அதை கம்மி பண்றது.
No need to change. But the question is, see, if it becomes necessary, we can go through the recordings once again.
Yes, please.
The last point is, we are really lucky. I mean, we cannot imagine in any other course, because we are having a descendant of the Kavi himself as a participant. We cannot expect like in Kalidas or Sundar. I don't know. It's impossible.
Very true.
Thank you for
sure.
this one.
No worries.
I was really upset last week when I visited. I thought, see, after so many years already, so many times I'm missing it. So this time also gone karke, I was thinking.
No worries.
Thank
it
God.
will happen. Yad
Today.
bhavyam tad bhavyam. அது நடக்குது, அவ்வளவுதான்.
Thank you, madam.
No worries. Gomati Mahodaya? Yeah.
Hello, namaskaram.
Namaste. Namaste.
I have listened to some of the through Vyoma. I have taken some lessons, and then particularly your Ape Dikshita's what is that?
Atmar.
Harihara Vedastiti.
Oh,
Harihara Vedastiti was a challenge for me. I learned a lot from your video, and also Kunti Stuti. It was very lot of things were embedded in that, and I really gained a lot of knowledge by listening to you. And this one, Sri-Raghava-Yadaviyam, I came across this piece a few years ago, and I tried to read it. Even reading was very difficult, and there was no way I could do padachedam like I do in other poems and all that. And when I happened to see it accidentally on Vyoma-Pata, I felt so blessed. I said, what I really wanted. And particularly today, Sri Satyamurthi's coming into this class was an added ratna in my hand. So I really appreciate what you're doing, and his presence also made it even more special. And there is no way I could have done proper padachedam and understood. It was, even to read it was very difficult. I tried reading it aloud a few times. I just had to give it up. So here I am depending on you. And namaskaram.
Sure. No worries. Thank you. Namaste. Hema Modya?
Namaskara.
Namaste.
I just wanted to say thanks to you. It's a wonderful class. It's something very different from the usual other classes where we have only one shloka, which of which you will tell the meanings and all that. But here it is, the reverse part is very difficult. I do not know if I have the capability to understand. But yes, and yes, do we have to
we will all do the journey together, because this is a new thing for me also. Don't worry.
Okay, and do we have to get the book from Lifco only, or with the meanings? The Lifco book is with the meanings, right?
It has Vyakhyanam. I'm not sure if it has meaning English or what. Pada-padartha tu Samskrite vartate, but I don't know if it is there in English or other language. So I'm not sure about it. But if you
whether this PDF is enough,
there is an English link that is there in the WhatsApp. Someone, Mr. Shadagopan, has done that, so you can take that also.
So is that enough, or should we? Is it a must to get the Lifco version?
It's not any must. There is no must about it. It's good to have the Lifco version, because that has the original Sanskritam if you are interested. It has the original Samskrita Vyakhya, whereas this Shadagopan book does not have the Samskrita Vyakhya. I would usually recommend something, because you're all learners of Sanskritam, it is good to have the Samskrita Vyakhya on hand. And that too, it has been written by the poet himself, so it makes sense to have that. That's why.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Lalita Modya?
Namaskaram, madam. எல்லாரும் ஆக்சுவலா சொன்னா புக்கு பார்த்துட்டு வந்தோடனே எனக்கு உங்க பேரை பார்த்தோன்னே ரொம்ப நாளா உங்கள்கிட்ட படிக்கணும்னு ஒரு ஆசை. அது இது மூலமா நிறைவேறுதுன்னு ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா இருக்கு. ஆக்சுவலி நீங்க போட்டது அவ போட்டா இல்லையா ட்ரைலர் மாதிரி ஆக்சுவலி நான் இப்பதான் அந்த புக் பத்தியே கேள்விப்படுறேன், எனக்கு தெரியாது இதை பத்தி. அப்ப பார்த்த உடனேதான் நீங்க நான் ரொம்ப வியோமால சில கோர்சஸ் நிபந்தமால அதெல்லாம் பார்த்திருக்கேன் நான் உங்களோடது. பட் அப்ப நினைச்சுப்பேன், ஐயோ மடை திறந்த வெள்ளம் போல பேசுறீங்களே, வாழ்க்கை ஒரு படிக்கணும் அப்படின்னு ரொம்ப அது எனக்கு இப்ப உங்க மூலமா இப்ப இந்த கோர்ஸ் மூலமா நிறைவேறதுக்கு ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா இருக்கு. I felt very happy and I want to thank Vyoma and Soumya madam also. Thank you, madam.
No, thank you. Kishore Madhya, any questions? Irka?
The question is, you mentioned very quickly the name Subandhu. So I thought Swapna-Vasabdattam was written by Vasa.
Not Swapna-Vasabdattam. I talked about Vasabdattam, which is a Gadya work written by Subandhu, which is an older work than Dandi, Dashakumara Charitam or Kadambari.
I see. I mistook it for Swapna-Vasabdattam. That's why I got it.
No, that is a Natakam. Yes.
That's right. Thank you.
No worries. Any other questions, Rajalakshmi Modya? I will, you have a question? Okay, anybody else? I've just allowed, namaste.
नमस्ते.
एवं
मम प्रश्नः आसीत्, अन्तिमः श्लोकः अनुवर्णितरामकृष्णवृत्तैः इत्यादिकं तत् कुतः स्वीकृतः इति?
स्वीयव्याख्यायाम् एव वर्तते. तत्र तृतीयश्लोकः वेङ्कटाध्वरिणः राघवयादवीयस्य व्याख्यानं वर्तते खलु तत्र. So in some published versions these shlokas are not there. It just starts off with the Vyakhya. These three shlokas are present in one particular Vyakhyanam. One particular publication. I can send those in the chat group if anybody is interested.
अस्तु, धन्यवादः महोदय.
Okay, नमस्ते.
नमस्ते महोदय.
जवाहर कन्नन. नमस्ते.
Namaste. And actually,
the class was wonderful, and I just wanted to ask.
1 minute, Jawahar Mahodaya, can you start? Sure. Yes.
Yeah. Namaste. Actually,
Namaste.
2 years when I was preparing for my COVID exam, Raghuvamsha, your Vyakyanam for Raghuvamsha was the first thing. Okay. அதுக்கப்புறம் அதாவது சௌமியா, காயத்ரி, பிஆர் காயத்ரி அண்ட் விசாலாட்சி மூணு பேருமே யூ ஹவ் பிகம் அ ஹவுஸ் ஹோல்டு நேம் ஹியர். என்னோட கம்ப்யூட்டர்ல போயிட்டு இருக்கிறது கேட்பா, மை ஒய்ஃப் யூஸ் டு ஐடென்டிஃபை இது விசாலாட்சி தானே, இது காயத்ரி தானே அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. அதனால it was very, very useful and it's very nice to interact with you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions, Irna, please? Yeah. If you don't have. Namaste. Yeah.
Thank you. It was a wonderful class, but I just wanted to ask.
Yes.
These shloks will be taught first in one direction and then other, or both ways?
Simultaneously. Anulom Vilom both simultaneously.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
My appreciation to yourself and Vyoma. My question is, you mentioned Vishya Gunadarsha Champu, which is a dialogue between two people, pessimist and optimist.
Yes.
What is the plot? Just curious to know what the plot is.
No, just two people who are traveling and visiting places and having a conversation. You can check out Google search and you will know. Any other questions, Elena? We will meet next week. Yeah.
महोदय, समान प्रश्नः श्लोकत्रयं तत्र वाट्सप् मध्ये स्थाप्यते वा इति?
Sure. Yes.
महान् धन्यवादाः, महान्तः धन्यवादाः भवत्यै. पुस्तकं तु कपाटिकायां सुप्तम् अस्ति बहु वर्षेभ्यः. प्रथमं लक्ष्मीसहस्रं स्वीकृत्य स्थापितवती, तत्र वा किञ्चित् पठितुम् आरब्धवती. एतद् एवमेव तिष्ठति कपाटिकायां. धन्यवादः. पठनीयमिति इच्छा अस्ति. पुस्तकानि पश्यामि चेत् क्रीणामि. अनन्तरं पठनं
நானும் 20 வருஷம் கழிச்சு தான் புக் எடுக்கிறேன். கவலைப்படாதீங்க, எல்லாம் ஒரே ரேஞ்ச் தான்.
किमर्थं भवत्याः परिचयः पूर्वमेव न अभवत् इति मम एवमस्ति. बहु पाठयति, बहु उत्तमम् अस्ति. इदानीं सर्वं प्राप्यते, समयस्य न्यूनता अस्ति. सर्वं पठनीयमिति इच्छा अस्ति, समयस्य न्यूनता अस्ति. एवं भाग्यमस्ति भवत्याः परिचयम् इदानीं वा प्राप्तमिति. धन्यवादाः.
Okay. Any questions? Other questions?
श्लोकत्रयस्य एव.
Yes, प्रेषयामि.
धन्यवादः.
रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः. कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः.